Welcome to all in my channel NCERT teaching. I am Dr. Kailash Meena, going to explain some concepts of chapter number 4 heat from NCERT class 7th science. So let's start the video. So this picture is showing that heat is a very crucial component of our society, of our civilization. Our civilization has some remarkable stories of discovering fire and inventing tools for the betterment of humanity. So all these discoveries are connected to heat. And nowadays, when we are using mobiles for online meetings, for education, for creating videos, watching videos, then also we experience heat when we are using our mobiles, laptops, and other instruments. So everything is connected to heat. Heat is a very crucial part of our livelihood. So we must know about the heat. So the first question rises in the student's mind, which who are in class 7 science, that what is the heat. So now for simplicity, we can say that heat is the measurement of hotness or coldness of any object. Otherwise, more technically we can say that heat is a measure of internal energy that has been transferred or absorbed. So this definition may be complicated for you students of class 7th. So heat is simply the hotness or coldness of any object is called heat. Now our chapter in class 7th science NCERT begins with a very simple activity in which you have three containers: container A, container B, and container C. And according to this activity, you will pour cold water in container A, hot water in container B, and you will mix the water from container A and B in the container C. It means hot and cold water in container C. Then you will put your left hand in container A, right hand in container B. Then you will put both of the hands in container C. Then what you will experience? You will experience that the left hand which was poured in, which we have put in container A, is feeling warm, and right hand which was in container B, which was containing warm water, is feeling coolness or cold. So here is a diagram taken as it is from NCERT. It says that Bozo says that both of the hands are telling different things. One hand is telling that water is warm, and the another hand is telling that water is cold. So what is the truth? So when we talk about heat, when we talk about experience of heat, we always talk about that something is warmer, something is colder. But this warmness and coldness all depends on our senses, and our senses are not very much reliable in terms of measurement of anything. So we need some measurement. And again, one more thing, that we cannot sense heat of any object always by touching, because some things are very hot, they can burn our hands. So we need some instrument to measure the heat, and for the safety reason and for the accurate measurement also. Now why something is hot and why something is cold? Because now have some idea of normal things in our day-to-day life, that we experience the tea is hot and ice is cold, ice cream is cold, cold drink is cold, coffee is hot, warm milk is hot. So we see in day-to-day lives many things are cold, many things are hot. So in very shiny day, when sunshine is there, so we can experience the metal things are becoming very hot, or vehicles are becoming very hot. So what is this hotness and coldness? So the hotness and coldness of anything, if we measure that thing, that will be called as temperature. So what is temperature? Temperature is a measure of the degree of hotness or coldness of any object. And how we can measure the temperature? Temperature is measured by a device which is called thermometer. And students, I hope you all have seen thermometer in your life, either at your home or at any clinic, because we all more or less have seen the thermometers. So first let me show you a clinical thermometer. What is a clinical thermometer? See, thermometer is a device by which we can measure temperature of any object. So in clinics, why we go to clinics? When we fall sick, when we have fever, then we go to clinic. Then there doctors measure our body temperature by using clinical thermometers. So why clinical thermometers are used? These thermometers are used to measure the temperature of human body. So these thermometers, when they will tell the temperature of human body or any ill person, there must be some thing to observe in that thermometer, and that something is called as mercury. So we have a liquid, a bright liquid, opaque liquid, which is called mercury, which is actually a liquid metal. We will learn more about metals in class 8, but for now we can say that mercury is a metal which is in liquid form in the room temperature. These terms may be somewhat complicated for you students at this point, but you simply can remember that mercury is a bright fluid which is filled. These thermometers are made up of glass and have some markings over them and have a fine tube within them, and that tube is filled with mercury. And you can see the tip of thermometer is very bright. So this tip is completely filled with mercury. What happens is that the sense of temperature or sense of heat for mercury is very sensitive. So when mercury get heated, it will expand, and because it is very bright and opaque, we can see the expansion in this tube, and this tube have some measurements. Let me read these measurements for you. You can see these marking 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41 and 42, and here we can notice 1 degree C. It denotes degree Celsius. So when we want to measure temperature of human body or anything, we need some numbers and we need some units. For example, if you want to measure height or length, we use terms centimeter, millimeter or kilometer. It all depends on what type of length we are measuring. In the same way, if we are measuring volume, we have liter or milliliters. So in the same way, if you are measuring height, so again we are using centimeters. So in the same way, when we are using or measuring temperature of anything, we can use one unit which is called Celsius, or there are other units also which are called Fahrenheit or Kelvin, but Fahrenheit is much older unit and Kelvin is more technical, which we need not to know about Kelvin, but you can have an idea that Kelvin is also a unit for measuring temperature. So normally in these clinical thermometers we have Celsius. So these 35, 36, 37 to 42 are marking the degree Celsius. So normal body temperature, as we all are aware, that is 37 degrees Celsius for a normal human being, which is an average temperature for normal human. So when we have fever, we have the body temperature more than 38 degrees centigrade. So here is some technical information for you, that a temperature over 38 degrees centigrade most often means you have a fever caused by infection or illness. It is generally medically accepted that normal body temperature ranges between 36.5 degrees Celsius to 37.5 degrees Celsius. Here students, you can note something is written in the brackets, which is degree Fahrenheit. So in general terms, when you hear that somebody has fever of 105, 104 or 102, so you may have heard these terms. So So these 104, 105 is denoting the Fahrenheit. So here you can see that there is a relation between centigrade and Celsius and Fahrenheit. So we can convert these units also, but that conversion is not the topic of today's topic. There are some rough or accurate calculations by which we can convert degree Celsius to Fahrenheit. For example, in very simple terms, let me show you that if you have 50 degrees Celsius temperature of anything, then you can double it, then you can add 32 to it or 30 to it, then you will have a rough measurement of Fahrenheit. But let not discuss this thing here. You only have one thing in mind, that we can represent body temperature in terms of degree Celsius or in terms of Fahrenheit, but nowadays we are denoting it in degree Celsius. Now next, digital thermometers. So as you have discussed earlier, that these clinical thermometers are made up of glass, they may break. And one more thing, that this mercury, which is a liquid metal, is very toxic metal, which is harmful for human body, harmful for us. So if we accidentally broke the thermometer, it will be harmful for us. So for that, nowadays we have some digital thermometers. So these digital thermometers are very simple, they do not use mercury, and you need to keep this tip again, like the clinical thermometer, in our buccal cavity or in armpit, and this digital thermometer will directly show you the reading. So it is easier to read temperature on a digital thermometer, despite the clinical thermometer where you need to have some precautions while reading the temperature. So there are two types of thermometers in clinics. Now measuring the temperature. So this is a rough sketch of a clinical thermometer, which have some markings from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. It have a tip filled with mercury, which is called bulb, and you can notice here a kink, a folding of tube here. Why this kink is here? Because when any doctor or we put this thermometer's bulb or thermometer to any sick person's buccal cavity or armpit, we need to take this thermometer in our hand, then we will measure the reading. So when we are taking this up, because of the movement of thermometer, because of the movement of our hand, because of the gravity, the expansion of mercury which we wanted to note, because of the heat transfer, because we want to measure the temperature, that may go down. So this kink prevents this, and we are able to take the correct reading. So there are some precautions how we can take the reading. This is the correct way shown in NCERT, and there is an interesting question also in the NCERT extended learning, that what will be the correct way to measure the temperature. So you hold this like horizontally in front of your eyes, and you will read the reading from clinical thermometer. Now how we use clinical thermometer, as I already have discussed, we will put this thermometer's bulb in the buccal cavity, because this buccal cavity has some correct temperature or stable temperature. Then we will read the temperature. It is very simple. Now coming to the laboratory thermometer. What is laboratory thermometer? Laboratory thermometer and clinical thermometer are functions on the same principle. They are made up of glasses. They have a bulb which filled with mercury, which is a bright substance, but the difference is it will have a higher range. Why we need thermometers at our laboratory? Because when in chemical experiments, when we boil something, we want to measure different temperature at different ranges. So this thermometer have a large range of measuring the temperature, because previously it was having only 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius, because our body temperature cannot go beyond 42 degrees Celsius. But for laboratory thermometer, it will be 100 degrees Celsius highest and minus 10 degrees Celsius lowest. So we can measure a variety of temperature here. And one more thing, here is a naughty idea discussed in our NCERT textbook, that Bujo or somebody else wanted to measure the temperature of boiling milk by a clinical thermometer, and they asked if he should measure or not. The answer will be no. Clinical thermometer, we cannot use a clinical thermometer to measure the temperature of any boiling liquid, because that is not the purpose. It may break. because it cannot measure temperature beyond 42 degrees Celsius. We need a laboratory thermometer if you want to measure the temperature of boiling milk, and we must not measure at home. It will be the lab activity and must be performed in the guidance of our teacher who is in charge of the laboratory. Now, so the thermometer is very simple to use, very simple to understand. Why we use thermometer? To measure the heat in terms of temperature. There are several units of temperature, for example Fahrenheit, Celsius or Kelvin, or many other units are also there. Now there is one question number 1 from a NCERT textbook which I want to mention here, that state similarities and differences between the laboratory thermometer and the clinical thermometer. Here I am mentioning only one or two, only few of them. This is an assignment for you all students, that you must make a table which will have 3 columns, for example serial number, laboratory thermometer and clinical thermometer, and then you think and search about the similarities and the differences. I will give you some hints here. For example, if you talk about similarities, they all both are made up of glass, both are having mercury, both both are used to measure the temperature, and both have some precautions, both have some correct way to read them. But what are the differences? That the clinical thermometer is used in clinics and laboratory thermometer is used in laboratory. Clinical thermometer have that kink, but laboratory thermometer do not have that kink. Can you imagine why laboratory thermometer do not have that kink or clinical thermometer have that kink? Because we need to pick or put that grab that thermometer from the ill people, but in laboratory we must not remove that thermometer from the liquid, we must read the reading there. That is why there is no requirement of that kink. And yes, laboratory thermometer have large range of measuring temperatures. So these are, there are precautions also. If you using clinical thermometer for measuring the temperature of any ill person, and then you are using it again, then you must have some precautions. You must wash it with antiseptic solution before and after use. So these are some differences between and similarities between laboratory thermometers and clinical thermometer. But yes, you all students will make a huge table with using your imagination, and by searching in your textbook and searching on internet, you can have a very good table, and that table will give you an idea about the functions and similarities and differences. So this video was all about the concept of heat, the measuring of heat and the units and those thermometers. My next video will be on transfer of heat. Thank you so much for you all for your patient listening.